not already being covered today. There are many people who work in the oil and gas sector living in my constituency of West Aberdeenshire and Kincardine. Those who don't work in the industry almost certainly have a family member who works in it. I personally have close friends and family who work in the industry, either for Shell, KCA Deutag, Technip, Conoco, Total, Stena, shipbrokers attached to the industry, or even in Aberdeen Harbour itself. I said in my maiden speech that I would argue for better support for the industry, and I, along with my colleagues from the North East and from Livingston, have done so and will continue to do so. Mr. Chair, the recent drop in oil prices that has been outlined today has had a big impact in the North East. It has not just affected those working directly in the oil and gas sector, but those working in hospitality, leisure, tourism, food and drink, and many more. At one time it was said in Aberdeen, or very recently, it was said that in Aberdeen it was cheaper to get a hotel room at the weekend than it was during the week because of the amount of business people staying in Aberdeen during the week. That's why I welcome the recent investment that has been made in Aberdeen City and Shire through the City Region deal and additionally from the Scottish Government. And I'm particularly pleased about the money earmarked for key projects such as the Lawrencekirk Junction in my constituency, and to my further delight for broadband infrastructure. I also welcome the support that has been provided to those who have lost their jobs with the Energy Jobs Task Force and the Transition Training Fund, which will allow oil and gas workers to retrain as teachers in STEM subjects. Local institutions in the North East are also pitching in to lend their support to the sector, with unemployed oil workers being offered a 20% discount on energy-related postgraduate courses at Robert Gordon University. It has been mentioned that there is a moral imperative to help the oil and gas sector. I would agree with this. Oil and gas workers, particularly those who work offshore, have to spend weeks at a time away from their families, living in one of the most inhospitable places that I can think of. This puts considerable strain on families and communities. These are people who have to take a survival course just to go on their commute to work. And as has been mentioned by the Honourable Member for Livingston, there are often accidents with that. So when we ask for support for the industry, we ask because we recognise the sacrifices that are made by the men and women on the rigs day in, day out. We recognise the hard work that they have done that has brought billions to the UK Treasury. So when the industry faces hard times, like they're experiencing just now, the government, they should be able to expect support from the UK government to get the sector back on its feet and restore confidence. Mr. Chairman, the oil and gas industry is incredibly innovative and entrepreneurial, with whole businesses in the supply chain being created out of simple solutions to all manner of problems faced by the industry. Last Friday, myself and my honourable friend for Aberdeen North visited an international company that started as an idea in a garden shed. It is this kind of company and those like it that make the oil and gas industry so unique and so important. Mr. Walker, I could not speak about the oil and gas industry in my constituency without mentioning West Hill. West Hill is the global centre of excellence in subsea engineering. It is also known as Surf City, referring to subsea umbilicals, risers and flow lines. I don't really know what that means either. They also do a lot in ROVs, as mentioned by my honourable friend. The subsea sector has pioneered game-changing technology and innovative thinking over the last 40 years. The theme for this year's Subsea Expo was Time for Transformation, aimed at recognising how the industry needs to change, what can be done more simply and more effectively. The last day of Subsea Expo was about encouraging young talent in the industry. Led by the oil and gas skills body, OPITO, the Energise Your Future inspires secondary school students to engage and find out more about the opportunities available in the oil and gas industry. This, along with initiatives such as the Energy Schools Challenge, which allows young people to gain an insight into the industry, show off their general knowledge, and as well as getting heard on the Great North Sound 1. Finally, the Industry Awareness Week, which will take place in Aberdeen in June this year, follows the Oil and Gas Authority's call to action paper and allows young people aged 16 and over to engage with different areas of the oil and gas industry and provide the next generation with the career choices available. As the industry looks to become more innovative and efficient, it may be this younger generation that will come up with the solutions to ensure the oil and gas industry survives and thrives.
Ms. McKay.